For the past few weeks, there's been a lot of talk about this very hyped up 2022 attraction coming to Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Out of the gate, a lot of people were hyping this up to be a new coaster because I really don't think Six Flags would oversell to this extent for a flat ride. At the same time, there's also been a lot of talk about the park's pandemonium being removed and completely overhauling the boardwalk section of the park, since there's really nothing else noteworthy in that section and it can grant a pretty decent plot of land for Six Flags to work with. Although, here's where things get dicey. As I've previously mentioned, this ride's being hyped up a lot and looks to be one of the more outgoing and extensive marketing campaigns that Fiesta Texas has gone through. The one confusing part is that the park's four most recent additions have been larger, high-thrill coasters. These are Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster in 2018, Batman the Ride in 2015, Iron Rattler in 2013, and Goliath in 2008. Their most recent non-high-thrill coaster edition was quite coincidentally Pandemonium, opening 1 year before Goliath in 2007. This leads me to believe that Fiesta Texas could actually end up going with a family-oriented option and just make it seem like a massive thrill, similar to what Alton Towers did with 13, their intimate family coaster. I'm gonna put out a total of 5 ideas I have about what this new ride can be and how likely each proposal is to happen. To start it off, Pandemonium's plot is approximately 263 feet in length and 105 feet in width. However, there's also a massive amount of land around the coaster's small plot to the north and east. This expands the total footprint to 836 feet in length and 288 feet in width. A much bigger plot that the park may or may not want to use now and might consider saving it for a future edition. This very long footprint of land makes me consider this first option, an SNS air launch coaster. This ride would be really big and definitely fall into that category of high thrill rides. I immediately think of a ride like Max Force, having a very long and narrow plot of land that could probably fit in here with decent ease. The only detractor here for me is that it may make Poltergeist obsolete in its own park. If this idea does go through, it may cause an uncertain future for Poltergeist. To counteract though, Poltergeist was apparently scheduled to get some sort of upgrade in 2022. So overall, this idea can be possible, but it's definitely not the most likely. This long plot of land also makes me think of this next option, an out and back wooden coaster. If this were to happen, this most likely could come from GCI. The only thing driving me away from this idea is the fact that Six Flags hasn't built a wooden coaster since 2016 with Goliath, the RMC, and any GCI since Apocalypse at Magic Mountain in 2009. If this were to happen, I could see it being extremely similar to Mystic Timbers or Prowler and could give the park some much needed floater airtime. These options would have to take up most of, if not all of the land the park has to work with around Pandemonium. If we were to stick to just the Pandemonium plot, I feel like a family coaster could honestly have a good chance of going there. The only thing that drives me away from this is that the park is hyping this thing up so much and would honestly be quite a disappointment if it was a more mild coaster. If the park does go with this option though, I think that they might add a more mild launch coaster with some sort of gimmick. This would most likely be by Zamperla since they're actually able to make mild launch coasters and might even add some sort of shuttle aspect or make the seats face backwards. There could be many possibilities with this ride. Again, if Fiesta Texas wants to go with the family styled option, it would really not fly with the enthusiasts, but there's not much need for parks to satisfy enthusiasts and really do just care about the general public, which make up the majority of the park's profit anyway. If they wanted to save space and still stay with the launch coaster option, they could get a premier ride Skyrocket too. Six Flags bought the first one in 2012 for Discovery Kingdom and never bought another one again. This would easily fit in just the Pandemonium plot and save them a lot of land for future use. This would be different enough from Poltergeist as well since it has that backwards launch aspect and also gives the park some hang time moments which every other ride there lacks. Six Flags does have a pretty solid relationship with premier rides and just recently added West Coast Racers to Magic Mountain in 2019. This ride could be worthy of the hype to the general public and would honestly fit quite decently at Fiesta Texas. Now for the final option, the one I saved for last because to me it's way more of a possible option. Every other option has something going against it, but this idea has literally everything going in its favor. I think Fiesta Texas is going to get an Axis coaster in 2022. This could be compact, fitting on just the Pandemonium plot, or just massive, taking up the massive stretch of land. We have no clue with the Axis coaster since obviously it's not out yet. This could be launched like the prototype or have a lip tilt like the promotional video indicated, or they can go all out and use both. This can also have capabilities of dodging the quarry wall by flipping over the trains from one side to another. That'd be awesome. We really have no high or low expectations with the Axis coaster. This coaster is definitely worthy of the hype and could be a contender for one of the best in the park. This also makes somewhat sense with the theme. They seem to be going for somewhat of a steampunk styled theme that I think would fit the look of the trains and the ride as a whole. This honestly makes me think of a ride that looks similar to Time Traveler and could have some sort of gear styled car to go with it, which would look very good in my opinion. I'd honestly just be really happy if any of these are added, and I really do hope that this isn't just some flat ride. But with Six Flags, you never know. Anyways, thanks for watching, please subscribe, stay tuned till the next video, bye.